Fe Indian Market Week continues, and whether you're into art, culture, film, fashion, food, or all of the above, that would be us, Market is a place where everyone can make special memories, and arts writer Paul Niemi joins us this morning. Welcome back, Paul.
Good to see you, Nikki.
So good to see you always. And
it's great to be here.
Everyone knows that has seen the show how much you love Native American art, and especially Indian Market. We all know that. So I'm really curious why they have such a special place in your heart.
Well, you know, I moved to New Mexico from New York about 4 years ago.
Yes.
And when I moved here, I knew virtually nothing about Native American art. But, you know, discovering Indian Market really awakened a passion in me that I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
So when I started to go to Indian Market, it was an opportunity to really learn about the diversity of Native American art throughout the United States. It's really amazing. And where else can you go and see and learn?
Exactly.
From all regions around the country.
It's no matter where you are, you're always talking and promoting on social media how much you appreciate and how passionate you are about the Native American culture. And so I'm curious what suggestions you would have for those who are out there, they're thinking, this is my first time visiting Indian Market, what can I expect? What would you suggest?
Well, I want to really talk, first of all, I want to talk about how, you know, Indian Market purchase can really turn into long-lasting friendships.
Oh, okay, I love that.
You know, you're really investing in that friendship and the artist's career, and it's an opportunity, and that can turn into a friendship for a lifetime and invites to Pueblo events, and it's very, very cool, and it's a lifelong experience.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Indian Market is an incredible experience because there are actually 1,100 or more than 1,100 artists from the U.S. and Canada who are juried into the show, and they come and they show their art, and it's an opportunity to see all of that.
Yeah.
And you know, be sure to ask questions.
That's a great tip.
The public should definitely feel free to ask questions. It's part of the Indian Market experience. You want to be respectful, though. You want to make sure that you ask permission if you can take a photograph,
That's a great
or
point,
if
too.
you can, you know, pick up an object or take an object, or you know, touch an object.
Right.
It's very important.
I'm glad you just said that, because a lot of people wouldn't think of that. And you know, kind of touching on that point, literally touching on that point, you know, the locals and also the visitors, a lot of times they get a little intimidated too, because it is a little intimidating when you're buying Native art and you don't know a lot about it.
They do.
So what do you suggest to those people?
Well, I think it can be very intimidating, and I think while Native American art really has its own brand of glamour, what I love about Indian Market is that it's free from pretense.
Yes.
You know, it's this hands-on, keeping it real approach to Native American art. So, you know, what you're gonna find is you're gonna find great art in every price point, starting at $10 all the way on up.
That right there is a great
truly
thing
something
to know.
for everyone.
You know, there really are a lot of great things for everybody, and there's a lot of new things this year to see and do. So how is it appealing to such a diverse audience?
Well, I think Santa Fe Indian Market SWAIA has actually done a really great job of doing a lot of outreach to encourage younger collectors.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, who doesn't love a $5,000 pot? But when you're starting a collection, that can be sometimes out of your budget.
No kidding.
So what I recommend for people to do is to actually, you know, we talked before about how artists are generational.
Yes.
They teach their children and their grandchildren. So, you know, buying a piece from someone else's child or a relative, sometimes you can defray that cost and get a really nice piece for maybe a little bit less, start your collection, and then build and come back every year.
Yeah, and carry on a legacy.
Exactly.
Which is so great. And the Native artists are really setting a lot of trends this year, aren't they?
They are. And, you know, we're seeing that so much. Native art really no longer exists in a bubble. There's so much awareness of it, I think, much more in the world. We have a long way to go, but there is a great awareness of it. We've seen that with fashion and jewelry. You know, Paul Frank is launching this new collection with Native artists. Of course, Patricia Michaels on Project Runway, and Orlando Dugai and Pilar who we had the other day. So I think Virgil Ortiz. So I think, you know, there is a growing popularity with the fashion, especially. So I think that's really changing things. I also think a lot of SWAIA artists are getting a lot of exposure in Europe and Middle East and Asia.
Isn't that great?
Going and doing shows and things like that.
Worldwide exposure, and really starting right here, which is what's so special. And I just want to touch, as I touch my beautiful jewelry, tell me a little bit about this.
Well, you know, you were talking about sort of what's new. Well, you know, while you will find the traditional kachinas or concha belts, you're also going to find contemporary art like this necklace. It's by Sean Blue Jacket Rakamo. She's Shawnee, and it is actually tourmaline, natural topaz, citrine, and sterling silver. Very fashion forward, just gorgeous, right?
Totally fashion forward, something that you can get for yourself.
Right.
And what about this that we're looking at?
This is a sterling silver canister by Mary Irene, who's Muskogee Creek.
I almost thought it was a cuff.
Right.
I almost put my hand in it.
Right? And Samuel LaFountain, who's Navajo and Chippewa, and this has a dragonfly theme. It's beautiful. It's a canister, and it comes in 3 pieces. And the top is actually a ring. How exquisite is that?
No, can I see?
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
It's just amazing. It's one of my favorite pieces. Yeah, so
hello.
these are examples of things that you're going to find at Indie Market that you wouldn't necessarily expect to find.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Amazing.
Well, now, before we go, real quickly, is there any one particular event, because there's so much going on, that you would say is a must-see for visitors?
Well, I think the Native American Cinema Showcase is going to be a huge deal. I'm excited to go to that.
Tatanka will be there.
Exactly. And then I think also the fashion show, you know, not to beat a dead horse. We talked about it all week.
hip-hop hoop.
9 a.m. to 12 on Sunday, the Native American fashion show, contemporary and traditional fashions.
Oh, good. And we're so glad that you're back in town. And of course, you just got a chance to see where you can find that complete schedule of events. And we appreciate you being here. And I'm not ready to take this off just yet, but we'll be right back, keeping it on at least till the next Writer.